It's a very powerful example of how a person who was captured to be put into the American slave trade maintained his agency and ensured his destiny. We hear a lot about their victimization and how atrocious the Atlantic slave trade is, but we don't hear about the heroes within that story, right? The powerful men, women, and children who were actually there living it, who actually still had lives. One of the things that I like to point out about this story is Chinque lived. It's hard to tell because of the history after he gets back to Africa. Is very sparse, but they think he lived to at least 60 or 70. And all that we have in the history record is 2 years. This 2 years where he was touching the Atlantic slave trade. And so when you take these people and you only tell their story through that narrative, it completely discounts them as people. They're not people through the lens of the Atlantic slave trade. They are people who contributed to the story of the Atlantic slave trade. The people, the human is the story we need to tell. And I don't feel like a lot of the things related to a lot of the stories that we hear related to the Atlantic slave trade, a lot of writings, they really miss that. And so that's why I wanted to put this out into the world.
No, thank you so much for that explanation. And I do appreciate that because, as I said, your book really intertwined a lot of the themes, a lot of the history.